Yes, so hello everyone. So welcome everyone to another episode of CSAP News Analysis, wherein we analyze, we analyze all the important events happening in the country from the point of view of course, civil services examination. So, I mean, as you can see, so let's get started. And so these are the two groups, okay, WhatsApp and Telegram, and you can join these two groups. And if you join these two groups, you can download the PDF of today's newspaper analysis by clicking the link given in the description. Okay, so we also have this interview guidance program going for APSC 2022. And here you can find all the respected members of the panel. And we have come up with a very interesting and a very dynamic panel this time. This panel includes some of the most distinguished and big names like Sri Anil Swarup sir, who is a retired IAS officer. He was also the former Coal Secretary of India. We also have in this panel Sri Robin Kolita sir. He was a former director of IRCTC, besides being an external member of the APSC interview board. We have with us Omiyo Kumar Boraso. He was the former APSC chairman. We have got Dilip Boraso. He's a retired APS officer. We also have with us Rajdeep Lekharu sir, founder and director. And the other panels are also very, very good. Okay. The other panel members are also very, very good. So these are the topics that we will look at today. So these are the topics, and this is the content list. So let's get started. Okay. The first issue that we are going to talk about is Supreme Court urges to streamline adoption pool. Okay. So adoption, as we all know, I mean, adoption or meaning buzi pao. So Supreme Court, Supreme Court, it calls for collaborative efforts to bring children into the adoption pool. Etia ki hol issue to ki hoise bahut kisuman children junkinik manhe adopt koribo lage ba junkinik ami adopt মানে তাহাতক এডপ্ট কৰিলে তাহাতৰ লাইফৰ কন্ডিশন ভাল হ'ব বুলি আমি ভাবো, কিন্তু এতিয়ালৈকে এডপশন কৰিব পৰা হোৱা নাই। সো সেই চিলড্ৰেন খিনিক আমি এডপশন পুলৰ ভিতৰত আনিবলৈ কি কি কৰিব লাগে তাৰ ওপৰত সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে ডাইৰেকশন দিছে। So why this news is important? Following a recent hearing on a petition by a non-governmental organization, the Supreme Court of India directed the center, the states, and the union territories to streamline and accelerate the adoption process throughout the nation. Okay, the low adoption rate and the high number of children living in childcare facilities without a permanent home have also drawn the attention of the court. Okay, Supreme Court, based on a petition, petition NGO Supreme Court of India kakak direct korise, center ko korise, states ko korise, or UTs ko korise, or adoption process to a good adoption process to streamline koribo koise. এই এনজিঅ'টোৱে সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টক এইটো কথাও বা এই বিষয়েও জনাইছে যে যোনখিনি চিলড্ৰেন চাইল্ড কেয়াৰ ফেচিলিটিজ বা CCIs আছে, সেইখিনি চিলড্ৰেনৰ লো এডপশ্যন ৰেট আৰু এক প্ৰকাৰে তাহাঁতৰ যে সেই চাইল্ড কেয়াৰ ফেচিলিটিজত থকা বহুত মানে তাহাঁতৰ সংখ্যা বাঢ়ি বাঢ়ি গৈ আছে। অ'কে, আৰু এই যোনখিনি ল'ৰা ছোৱালী সৰু ল'ৰা ছোৱালী যোনখিনি চাইল্ড কেয়াৰ ফেচিলিটিজত থাকে, they do not have a permanent home. So a duta issue ko a junto NGO to highlight korise aru Supreme Court or notice ole anise. Our Supreme Court ki koi, what did the Supreme Court say about adoption? The court said that children living in CCIs whose parents have not visited them for over a year. Okay, the court said that the children who are living in CCIs whose parents have not visited them for over a year or have unfit parents or guardians should be identified and brought into the adoption pool. Okay, Junbilak parents, mane hebilak children Junbilak CCIs ase, aru he CCIs bilakoloi whose parents have not visited them for over a year. Okay, whose parents have not visited them for over a year or have unfit parents. Ba hekhini children or jodi unfit parents ba guardians ase. So hekinik ami sinakto koribo lage, aru sinakto korar pisot they also need to be brought into the adoption pool. Okay, now etia courte unfit guardian mane ki hetu define korise. Unfit guardian hisabe courte define korise who is unable or unwilling for parenting, indulging in substance drug abuse or alcohol, known to have abused or neglected the child, having a criminal record, mentally unsound. Okay, who is unable or unwilling for parenting. Okay, he may either be unwilling for parenting or unable. Okay, he may not be able to do parenting in a nice manner, or he's into drugs, he's into alcohol. So ebilak korileo tekhet hokolok unfit guardian hisabe ami goinyo korim. The court ordered states and union territories to begin a bi-monthly drive to identify children in the often abandoned, surrendered, okay, in the often abandoned, surrendered category in CCIs. ঠিক আছে? The court also directed states and union territories to compile data on potential children for adoption and hand over the details to the Central Adoption Resource Authority and Ministry of Women and Child Development. এই যোনটো Central Adoption Resource Authority and Ministry of Women and Child Development, এই দুটা Central Adoption Resource Authority, you can call it a nodal agency also. Our Ministry of Women and Child Development are under এইবিলাক বস্তু আহি পৰে. Okay, see, I mean, as you can see, it is the statutory body. It is the statutory body of the Ministry of Women and Child Development. It functions as a nodal body for the adoption of Indian children and is mandated to monitor and regulate in-country and inter-country adoption. So statistics related to adoption in India, according to CARA, there are only about 4,000 child adoptions annually in the country. A rate to baribo lage. A rate to nobodhar karone a issue to bikhoye ami aji pori asu. Okay, kyo a rate to borhane karon bahut children are still outside the adoption pool. So tahadok ami keneke adoption pool or by adoption pool or keneke tahadok ami part bonam. This is what the news is all about. Okay, and as you can see, there's also a huge mismatch between children available for legal adoption and the number of prospective adoptive parents, according to CARA's online portal. So this is the issue, and these are some of the challenges related to adoption in India. Okay, lengthy and complex adoption process or karneo India ekhon famous act ase, okay, Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act. Okay, it was later amended also in 2021. So tarpori India Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act to ase. ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু এইবিলাক lengthy and complex adoption process হয়, high rate of child returns. ঠিক আছে, এতিয়া কথাটো হল তাপা limited adoption of children with disabilities, issues of child trafficking. So এইবিলাক কিছুমান ইস্যুজৰ কাৰণে ইণ্ডিয়াত যোনটো adoption process সেইটো অলপ যিমান শোচনীয়ভাৱে বা যিমান ধুনীয়াকৈ হ'ব লাগে, ওকে, যিমান সুচাৰুৰূপে হ'ব লাগে সেই ৰূপে হোৱাগে নাই। ঠিক আছে, আৰু why do the children need to be adopted? Adoption can provide a loving and stable family environment. I mean, always know adoption can also contribute to the social and economic development of the country. Okay, so previous year question, which of the following are the objectives of National Nutrition Mission? To create awareness relating to malnutrition among pregnant women and lactating mothers, to reduce the incidence of anemia among young children, adolescent girls and women, to promote the consumption of millets, coarse cereals, and unpolished rice. So I want you guys to go for this question. See, this is transit anticipatory bail. Okay. Now, why this is in the news? Recently, the Supreme Court of India, in the case of Priya Indoria versus State of Karnataka in ORS 2023, ruled that the Sessions Court or the High Court in a state can grant transit anticipatory bail to an accused through the first information report outside their jurisdiction. Okay, the SC emphasizes the constitutional imperative of protecting citizens' right to life and personal liberty as enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Now, what is the SC's ruling on transit anticipatory bail? Now, let's first understand the meaning of transit anticipatory bail. Okay, what does it mean? So, transit anticipatory bail, it serves as what? It serves as a form of protection for the accused against arrest until they can reach a court with territorial jurisdiction for the alleged offense. Okay, so transit anticipatory bail. Anticipatory bail means ki? Anticipatory bail itself means what? Suppose for example, ejon manhuhe jodi gom pale je তেখেতক accuse করা হয়েছে, okay, এজন আৰোপীয়ে যদি এতিয়া মানে আৰোপী হোৱাৰ লগে লগে পুলিচে তেখেতক এৰেষ্ট কৰিব। So anticipatory bail মানে যদি এজন আৰোপীয়ে তেখেতক arrest কৰাৰ আগতেই যদি কোৰ্টপা বেল, okay, কোৰ্টপা বেল পাবলৈ যদি সক্ষম হয় আৰু সেই বেলটোক anticipatory bail, কারণ he is anticipating an arrest, হয় না, he is anticipating that the police will arrest him, and based on that anticipation, because he is anticipating, based on that anticipation, even before the police could arrest him, he will get a bail, or he can apply for a bail and he gets a bail. That bail is known as anticipatory bail. Now this is transit anticipatory bail. So transit anticipatory bail, it serves as a what? It serves as a form of protection for the accused against arrest until they can reach a court. Okay, court por loge loge mane dhora, it is in effect, Okay, it will remain in effect only till the point, the accused or the person who's applying for search bail reaches the court. So it provides protection against arrest until they reach a court with territorial jurisdiction for the alleged offense. Okay, it introduced the concept of transit anticipatory bail in the case of state of Assam versus Brojan Gogoi in 1998. So, STA cases there, High Court and Sessions Court should grant transit anticipatory bail in the form of interim protection under Section 438 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Kintu at the same time, STA aru eta bostu note korise je this particular thing, Supreme Court has also noted that this transit anticipatory bail should be granted in exceptional and compelling circumstances, only to prevent irreparable harm to the applicant. Okay, a junkhon transit anticipatory bail ekon jetia tetia ba jake take dibo nware. It should be granted only in exceptional and compelling circumstances to prevent irreparable harm to the applicant. Okay. The SC, on top of that, has also laid down conditions for interim protection. Notice to the investigating officer and public prosecutor is mandatory during the first hearing. The applicant must satisfy the court regarding their inability to seek anticipatory bail from the court with territorial jurisdiction over the FIR. Okay. The ruling acknowledges the possibility of accused individuals choosing a favorable court for interim protection. What are bails? Bail is the conditional provisional release of a person held under legal custody in matters yet to be pronounced by the court by undertaking a promise to appear in the court as and when required. Okay. Tekhetok arrest koribo nware ba jodi ejon individual bail pai so tekhet jailot nathake kintu tekhete courtok promise kore je muk jeta mota hobo moi haziri dim ba moi ahim yalo. So there are different kinds of bails in India. Regular bail, regular bail this is an example of a regular bail to release a person who is already under arrest and kept in police custody. For such bail, a person can file an application under sections 437 and 439 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. So regular bail mane ki jak already arrest korile, so he manujeno bail or karne apply koribo pare. So interim bail mane ki interim bail granted for a temporary and short period by the court till the application seeking anticipatory bail is pending before a court. So anticipatory bail or karne jetia ejon accused apply kore, so till the time that particular application, okay, till the time the court decides or the court gives a final decision, okay, till the time the court gives a final decision regarding that application, hey homoy kini karne jodi kunbai bail or karne apply kore ba jodi court e tahatok bail die, hey bail luk ami ki boli ko interim bail. Agar anticipatory bail or pre-arrest, moi already koisu apnalokok statutory bail. The remedy of statutory bail, also known as default bail, is distinct from bail obtained in the ordinary procedure. Okay, as the name applies, statutory bail is given when the police or investigating agency fails to file its complaint within a certain time frame. Tahatok eta certain time frame dia hoy nohoy, tahatok eta homoy hima dia hoy je ei homoy himar bhitor apnaloke when apnalokor report, detailed report ba complaint file koribo laibo. Okay, police or investigating agency jodi hekhini homoyar bhitor tahari file koribo nware tente bail di dia hoy. Okay, accused jono. Let's come to the third news. Second voice of the Global South Summit. Okay, Modi. So this is the news. Modi to inaugurate second voice of Global South Summit on November 17th. So India recently concluded its second voice of the Global South Summit held virtually. The summit follows the inaugural summit in January 2023, signaling India's commitment to fostering solidarity among nations and consolidating its leadership in the Global South. The Global South or meaning to ki ami ahi aso talo. The first virtual summit witnessed participation by 125 countries. The inaugural session or theme was led together for everyone's growth with everyone's trust. Objective KSL summit or disseminating outcomes of the G20 summit hosted by India. Okay, disseminating outcomes of the G20 summit hosted by India and ensuring disseminating outcomes of the G20 summit hosted by India and ensuring sustained momentum for effective implementation of G20 decisions with a specific focus on the interests of developing countries. Okay, our outcome, always on the Global South Center of Excellence, Dakshin. The Indian PM inaugurated this initiative aimed at fostering collaboration among developing nations. Okay, Global South does not mean the Global South, for your understanding, is a collaboration, or it is an understanding the developing countries have entered into by serving as a knowledge repository and think tank. Okay, so ebilako hoy ase. So thematic discussions, ministerial sessions delved into a wide array of topics, including sustainable development goals, energy transition, ebilak kisman key issues which are being highlighted during, the summits of Global South: climate finance, digital transformation, women-led development, counter-terrorism, and global institution reforms. Ebilak kisman, these are some of the key things being highlighted during the summits of Global South. Now, what is Global South? See, the Global South, it encompasses or it covers diverse countries, drawing upon geopolitical, historical, as well as developmental factors. While it is not solely defined by location, it broadly represents nations facing developmental changes. So, members of the Global South are those countries who are facing or which are facing certain developmental changes. Okay, many countries included in the Global South are in the northern hemisphere, such as India, China, and all of those in the northern half of Africa. Whereas Australia and New Zealand, both in the southern hemisphere, are not in the Global South. See, the name can be a bit deceptive. Okay, the name can be a bit misguiding or deceptive. Because Global South boli koar loge lage amar mind ole kiya hai je southern hemisphere thoka sub countries ahi jabo no hoy. Okay, most of the in fact, if you look at the countries, you will find that most of the countries are not located in the southern hemisphere, but they are located in the northern hemisphere. And in fact, interestingly, Australia and New Zealand, they are both located in the southern hemisphere, yet they are not a part of the Global South. That goes to explain. Okay. Now, what are the challenges for India as a voice of the Global South? Addressing divergent interests, overcoming power asymmetry. Okay, because there are many emerging powers: India, Brazil, South Africa, even China is a member of Global South. And we all know that China and India have always been at loggerheads. Negotiating with global powers, okay, advocating for the interests of the Global South. So ebilak kisman issues in which one of the following groups are all 4 countries members of G20. Now let's come to the next important issue at hand, that is the civil aviation security and NIA. Why in the news? Recently, the National Investigation Agency has registered a case against a Khalistani terrorist and 6 for Justice founder over the Air India threat. India banned the SFJ as an unlawful association in 2019, citing that it was involved in anti-national and subversive activities. The NIA invoked, the NIA invoked provisions of the Indian Penal Code and the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against SFJ. Okay, the NIA invoked provisions of the Indian Penal Code and Unlawful Activities Act against SFJ or 6 for Justice. Okay, that's the name of a group. And NIA, we all know about NIA. It's a federal agency of the Indian government responsible for investigating and prosecuting crimes related to terrorism, insurgency, and other national security matters. So it's basically a federal agency of the Indian government. Now, federal agencies in a country that typically have jurisdiction over matters that affect the country as a whole. Okay, federal agency. It is responsible for the entire country rather than just individual states or provinces. So the entire country, the entire geographical extent of a country becomes the jurisdiction of any federal agency. It was established in 2009 following the Mumbai terrorist attacks under the National Investigation Agency, operates under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, National Investigation Agency, as NIA, which is also known as NIA or National Investigation Agency, it operates under the broader framework of Ministry of Home Affairs. This act, the act to form the National Investigation Agency, was passed in July 2019, amending the NIA Act 2008. Now, functions ki hai NIA, it has the power to take over cases or investigations of terrorism-related cases from state police forces and other agencies. If the state police forces are not being able to solve the cases, or if they're finding it hard to get to the depth of the matter, they generally hand it over to NIA, or the NIA itself, out of its own initiative, can take over the case. It also has the authority to investigate cases across state boundaries without obtaining prior permission from state governments. Okay, they don't have to wait for any permission. It coordinates with other law enforcement agencies both within India and internationally in matters related to terrorism and national security. ঠিক আছে, so এইবিলাকো কিছুমান aviation security regulation in India. Okay, aviation security regulation in India. Civil aviation security refers to the measures and protocols implemented to safeguard civil aviation against unlawful interference such as terrorist attacks, hijackings, sabotage, and other threats. Okay, these security measures aim to ensure the safety of passengers, crew, aircraft, and airport facilities. Regulating bodies, the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security is the national regulator for civil aviation security in India, and it is the Directorate General of Civil Aviation regulates air transport services to, from, and within India. It also enforces civil air regulations, air safety, and airworthiness standards. Okay. Now, okay, this was a previous year question, so I request all of you to go through this. Now let's talk about some of the prelims facts. Okay, E prime layer of the Earth's core, according to research conducted at the Advanced Photon Source of Argonne National Lab and Petra, the third of Deutsch in Germany, a new mysterious layer called the E prime layer has formed on the outer part of the Earth's core. Okay, junto Earth or kebato parts ame jano, okay, mantle, core, and all that. So hey, outer part of Earth's core, okay, tat eta E prime layer bola ami eta notun layer ami discover koriso. This happened because surface water penetrated deep into the planet, changing the composition of the outer region of the liquid metal core. Okay, our Earth was on the core. Okay, core. So core ami paisu. A finding to key suggests correct. It suggests a more intricate global water cycle than previously recognized. The altered core layer carries significant implications, shedding light on the interconnected geochemical processes that link surface water cycles with deep metallic core. Okay. Tapisot ami advancing Ayurveda, Agni Initiative and mainstreaming research. This is also very important. Central Council for Research in Ayurveda Sciences. It comes under Ministry of Ayush. It has taken initiative to promote evidence-based practices and scientific validation within Ayurveda. Ami hokolwe janu je efforts are underway to bring the traditional system of Indian medicine and modern medicine together. Okay, efforts are already underway, and this is yet another effort in that particular direction. So Agni serves as a platform for Ayurveda practitioners to report innovative treatments and experiences in various diseases. So this is our academic team led by Rajdeep Lekharu, founder and director, and this is our content developing team, as well as our supervision is done by Jaipur Risk College, sir, and also the technical team. So thank you so much. Okay, on that note, I'm ending my today's session. See you all in my next session.